Well, good evening and welcome to another production of Porch Talk. I'm Paul W. Marino. My normal co-host, Ed Morandi, is out nursing an injured knee, so maybe he'll call us a little later. In the meantime, I have our mascot, Phil, here. I have a wonderful guest and an extraordinary guest, but before we get to them, we need to get our history quiz out of the way. Peter, would you please bring up the picture in front of us? There we go. Now, this is a hotel here in North Adams. It was actually built around the 1830s. This photo was taken in the 1890s. Note the beautiful cobblestone streets and the trolley tracks there. Also notice the addition on the back of the hotel with all those porches, which I believe was built in the 1890s. And then, not long after this photo was taken, the original part of the hotel was torn down and a beautiful brick and stone structured facade was built in front of it. And then in 1902, a theater was built behind it. So the question for tonight, what hotel is this? If you think you know the answer, if you just have a wild guess, if you have no idea, give us a call, please. 664-4408. Okay, let's get back to us. Thank you. Now, my guests tonight are Lindsay Neathawk, and this is her her charming daughter, Ava Neathawk. Now, like a lot of 10-year-olds, Ava has started a business. But unlike most who, oh, I'm sorry, I think Phil is in your way. I'll put him over here. There we go. Unlike most 10-year-olds whose idea of starting a business is to start a lemonade stand, Ava has started something else altogether. What is your business, Ava?
It's called Gluten-Free Giraffe, and it is where we sell cutting boards with a gluten-free logo that, well, my gluten-free logo that I designed with the help of my annoying mother.
I'm glad you said that. Most mothers are annoying, but
yes.
It's not too often that we get to say so about them and get away with it. So, before we get into the cutting boards, why giraffe?
Well, my favorite animal is giraffe, and right here is my mascot, Giraffe. And I really, really love giraffes. They're my favorite animal. All over my room, I have a giraffe rug. I have yellow walls. I have pretty much giraffe.
80 or more giraffe figurines.
Wow.
My goal is 1,000 giraffes, and after that it's 1,000,000, and after that it's 1,000,000,000, and then 1,000,000,000,000, and then I forget.
You realize that in order to achieve 1,000,000,000 giraffes, you're going to have a warehouse just for giraffes.
I know.
Okay.
And I'm also going to have a pet giraffe.
Okay. So tell us about the cutting boards.
Well, the logo, it has a giraffe on it. This is one of the logos with a giraffe on it. And the logo is like a stop sign for gluten. Like, hey, don't put gluten on this cutting board.
Yeah, now, I first met you at the E for All event a couple weeks ago. So why don't you tell us about that?
Like what it felt like?
Well, what it was.
Well, E for All was it's like a business starter, and there are how many people are picked?
Around 25 people went online and filled out an application to pitch, and out of those about 25 applicants, they chose 12 people to come to this event that was held February 5th at the Green here in North Adams. And those 12 people were invited to come and table, which is you bring your pitch, you set up a table, and all the guests go through and look at what you have to pitch and listen to your story. And prior to that night, 6 people are chosen to actually get up in front of everyone who's there and say a 2.5-minute speech. And then 2 people, but they tell the remaining 6 to still be ready because 2 more people will be chosen at random to pitch that night. The one way of random was, pull your name out of a hat, and the other was to get the most votes from the audience.
Which I wasn't able to pitch that night. Like, I wasn't pre-selected to pitch, but because of these votes/stickers, I was able to pitch. And
yeah, you had more stickers than anybody else. Your little ID card there.
I have it too.
Oh, great! Pull it out because this is fabulous. There's.
Brian, can you get that?
yeah, they.
Oh, send Carter to get it.
They even gave up counting, and we'll show you.
And this person you see coming in with the coat,
Oh.
well,
Oh,
that
wait.
you don't see coming, Carter, come over here. Carter, come here, Carter. Over here, come here, come here. This is Ava's brother, Carter.
He's very
No relation to President Carter. Thank you very much for your help. Get out.
P.S. He's also very, very annoying.
Well, that's
Yeah,
brother's
so let's
job.
just hold that up higher. These are all the votes that she got from the audience. And I know because I put a couple of those there myself.
Yep. So we knew that one of the ways to pitch was to get people to vote, and I had gone online and I looked to see what past participants had done so that they can get pitched, which was the one was someone was giving out free Prosecco on there. So I'm like, So Ava's like, I should make cookies. I think that Ryan said, like, you guys should make something and give them out for votes.
Yeah.
And so Ava made cookies that day.
And then you came up with this idea and we kind of bribed people.
Oh yeah, and we're not below bribery. So yeah, we said, you get a free cookie if you put a sticker on here. So it won. Or it worked.
Free cookie for a vote.
Yep.
Yeah, and the fact that the idea is nothing to sneeze at was certainly helpful too. So how did you rate among all the people who presented?
I came in 3rd.
That's right. And how much did you get? Much money.
How much money did you win?
I won $500 and it was very exciting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cried a little.
Well, I was disappointed that you didn't get first place, partly because I love the idea, and partly because I loved your pitch. I think the only person who had a better pitch than yours was the magician.
Yeah. I
He was
really
fine.
he had like this fire and it was so cool because I think he did like this card trick. I think he took something and then he put all the cards on it. I think he like burned all the cards till like, and
And
then,
only one was.
and then
Well, no, it
black.
was actually a paper wrapper. That's what burned. And then he dropped all the cards, and he's got the card that the woman signed on a knife. Yeah.
We were at the back, so it was hard to see to see, but that's what it looked like from us. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a wonderful night. I'm very glad that you placed. I would have liked to see a place higher, but third place is nothing to sneeze at. And speaking of nothing to sneeze at, tell us how you came about to invent this particular gluten-free cutting boards.
Well, it all started by going to a friend's house.
Well, doesn't it start because you have a gluten allergy?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well,
You have celiacs.
Yeah.
Actually, her brother and I have celiacs.
Yes, it's not fun. You can't go to McDonald's, you can't go to KFC. I've never been to KFC. You can't go to Taco Bell, you can't go to Burger King. It's kind of sad. The only place that you can't go to Dunkin' Donuts. It's been,
how do you live?
Expensively.
yes, and it's hard because actually most of the gluten-free food, it's like really expensive.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because she has celiacs, we had the ability to talk to a nutritionist, and they guided us how to live this new lifestyle, and she harped on the fact that cross-contamination is a huge factor, and as much as you can be eating gluten-free, if your surface is not clean, you're not going to stay healthy. A crumb can make a celiac sick up to 9 months and it takes their body up to 9 months to recover from that. And it's an autoimmune disease, so you get autoimmune reaction, so it's all internal. So sometimes the three of us, since we have celiacs, but the three of us react differently. She'll throw up within a minute to 24. Carter, he just turns into a bear, literally, and mine, it just stomach pains.
That must be great in hibernation season.
Yep. So it's and sometimes people don't even have any reaction, so it's hard to tell. But we all internally process it, and it damages our intestines the same way, whether we know outside or not. But yeah, and the only cure for it is 100% gluten-free diet.
And as interesting as it would be to pursue that, I'm going to pursue it later. You, get back to your story. It started with you having a gluten allergy, and you went to your friend's house, and what happened?
They didn't have a safe place to cut my apple, so their parents was like on the phone with my mom, and they were like,
they were nervous. I give a list out to all the friends' houses she goes to, things that they can and can't do, and one of them is do not use any cutting boards. And so she calls. She's like, how am I going to cut Ava's apple? So I said, just grab a paper plate, because you wouldn't want to do it on a counter because it could ruin your knives, and there could still be gluten on the counter. So,
Well, I don't know how to break this to you, Ava, but you can actually eat an apple without it being cut. See, if you look underneath your nose, there's an opening. It's called your mouth, and there are teeth in there that you can bite into the apple and bite a chunk out of it, and chew it up and swallow it, you know? And then you take another bite, and you can eat an apple just like that.
you know what the funny thing is, though? She didn't have 2 front teeth at the time.
that's why I need to cut off.
So she couldn't really do it. So,
Yeah, it's painful.
So, you needed your apple cut on a paper plate. So then, how did this come about? Oh, come on. This is your idea.
So her and her dad were talking
yeah.
about what they could do, and I think she made the comment like, "I wish everyone could just have a cutting board, or maybe I should walk around with cutting board and knives.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, because that's going to go over well at school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, her and her dad were talking about what she can do. Because first of all, she wanted to save up money
yeah.
to buy a peach-faced lovebird.
Which they live in Africa, which giraffes live in Africa. So I love Africa, mostly South Africa though.
But so she wanted to save up money, and I told her to save her allowance. She realized real quick that it's not going to go anywhere, and she's not going to get a bird anytime soon. So she was trying to come up with ways to make money.
Actually, she's just the right age to get a bird, considering they live up to 80 years.
Yeah, we don't want a bird, so that's why we've been saying like you have to raise the money yourself if you really want it. This is your
Don't
pet.
listen to them, Phil.
So about a year ago, she started doing bird feeders.
Yeah.
And I ended up being her roadblock because I'm busy at my work because I have a CNC machine. So she actually created
A model out of cardboard, which is now destroyed because,
No,
well,
this
it's kind of destroyed because of cardboard.
No, that's fine. So anyway, she created all the files.
What did you do to her birdhouse?
Oh, nothing. I just never made it. So I never cut them on the CNC machine, so she could put it together and decorate it and sell it. And then fast forward, her and her dad were talking about this in the fall-ish. And so there was a work in progress, like, oh, we'll get to it. And we were talking to a friend of ours, and just about this idea and stuff. And they're like, she should pitch to the E4All pitch contest. And I'm like, what's this? So we looked it up, and I told her about it. And I'm like, Ava, it's a nice fire to put under our butts to get this moving. And she's like, okay. And we had nothing. So she filled out the application. I went back and I helped her with grammar and told her where she should do more description. And she was picked to be there that night. And she came up with a 2.5-minute speech all on her own. All I did was help her with grammar, the
No, I
flowing.
helped you with grammar.
Oh.
Because I told her what to write because I'm good at typing, but she's better. So I told her what to write, and then she couldn't spell restaurant, and she couldn't spell a lot of things. So like, you know what, I'm just gonna help you. You know what? Here, I'll teach you how to do it.
And what does this have to do with your grandma? Didn't you help her with grandma?
Huh? I don't get it.
What did you say that you helped her with?
Grammar.
Oh!
Wait, I don't get it. So.
Go ahead and hit me. You know you want to.
Grammar. Grandma. Grammar.
Zip. Well, let me tell you something, my dear. You excite me very much. I think it's fabulous that a person of your age has an idea for a business. And let me tell you something. I know of a writer who, he was actually living in France for a while. And when one of his sons was talking about going to college, and he asked his father, what should I major in? And his father told him, don't go to college. Start a business. You start a business, and if you can keep it going for 4 years, you will learn more about business in those 4 years than you will in 4 years as a business major in college. Well, you are getting in on the ground floor. Your parents already have a business. And if you keep this business going until you're 18, and you work with your parents on the business part of it, when you graduate high school, you will be in a position to start another business of your own, because you will have that experience of running a business, knowing how to come up with a product, how to make it, how to sell it. And of course, now that you're building a website, you're going to be selling it online, and that is really where the money is these days.
I still want to go to college though.
Do you know what you want to be?
Well, when I grow up, I want to be a mother, and I kind of want to also own like this ice cream slash cafe, kind of, because I like cooking, and I want to also sell ice cream. So like, kind of.
And top 8 allergen-friendly cafe ice cream parlor. She's been
Great
talking about
idea.
that since she's like, what, 6?
I'm not 6. I came up with this idea. I have no idea when.
Forever.
No, not forever.
Oh, just feels like
Well,
forever.
she doesn't mean before you were born.
She meant when I was 1 year old, when I was just 1. Because forever means how long have been alive. That's been for 10 years. I don't think I've had that idea in my brain. Even when I was like 1 and 2, I didn't
Okay.
even know how to speak.
Okay.
Well, I know how to speak when I was 2.
I learned kind of how
She
to.
did.
Yeah.
Trust me. You knew the word no. Very good.
Yeah, little kids love that. When my great niece started talking, when my great niece turned the magic age of 6 months, when they start recognizing faces, she decided she was terrified of me. And she didn't get over that until she was 6. Now her favorite game is pretending she's terrified of me. But once she started talking, she never talked to me until I would come in and say, all right, we're getting ready to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Kids.
Yes,
Hey, I'm right
can't
here,
live
you
with-
know.
Yeah.
Can't live with them, can't live without them.
So with Ava's cutting boards, a big part of this was it's the frustration of some people don't know what celiac is and don't know the severity of why you want to keep cross-contamination to as little as possible. And with the hope of selling these to non-celiacs, is to help educate them and share awareness of the disease. So it's like it's ideal for people who don't have celiacs but have a friend or family member who has an allergy, so that way they can learn.
Well, I know a woman in South County, down in Housatonic, who I think would be interested in this. Her son has a gluten allergy, and whenever she's making a pie or something that she expects him to have some of, she makes the crust of spelt flour, which doesn't mean that you have to spell it before you can use it. It's a kind of a grain, spelt is.
Okay.
Zip! And actually, I think my sister-in-law would like one of these as well. She knows people with food allergies.
Yeah, we're in the prototype stage. They're bamboo and cutting boards is what we're going to focus on selling, and we just we have to find a supplier so that way it's economical for the end user.
Now, I know that bamboo comes in a ring shape. How do you get it into a flat like that?
You iron it.
Oh, cool.
I have no idea. That's a good question.
Well, that's something you can do in the cellar.
That's true. My mom said they glued them.
Yes, I don't know how, but it's a good idea to add that into the website about bamboo, and because such a good renewable resource. And they're very good on your good to your knives, which is nice.
So, by the way, if you folks at home, if you have a question for Ava or her mother about gluten allergies or about the cutting boards, please give us a call, 664-4408. If you have a guess, even a wild guess about our history quiz, please give us a call, 664-4408. If you're sick of listening to my voice, give us a call, 664-4408. Please, Phil would thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. So, that's another good thing you can do. Do some research online. Speaking of online, since you love giraffes so much, have you seen the video of giraffes doing high dives?
They do high dives?
I think I showed you that video once.
No,
it was a
you never
long
did.
time ago.
I will show it to you before you leave tonight.
Okay.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, they don't really do high dives. Giraffes don't like being in the water. They don't swim, but someone did computer animation and it looks like giraffes going up a ramp and going out, and one is hanging upside down and one dives out and their chins catch and they flip and go into the water. Absolutely amazing. You'll love it.
I really want to see that.
All right, so as I was about to ask before I interrupted myself, if people want cutting boards, what are you charging? Come on, you said this in your presentation.
Wait, I said it in the...
Yes, you did.
We've changed it a little bit.
Oh,
No, it only said $35 a set.
Yep.
a set. So how many in a set?
3 per set, and individual...
It was 8, 12.
Yeah, but I think it should be 5, 10, 15, and then we lower that to 25.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's that. 5, 10, 15, and then the whole set is 25. That's what I think.
She's got the bug, folks.
That she does. And then we have, we're contemplating, like maybe down the road, doing the custom
Yeah. He said,
cutting boards where, you know, it's like unique, where there would be literally no two the same as an option. But that
how
one
much
would be,
would that be, though?
that one I think we were looking at for $50. But we have to figure all that out.
Well, you know, something else occurs to me that you might consider introducing as a second product. When my mother made bread, in fact, when I started making bread myself, we would roll out the dough on a cloth. What if you got some heavy cloths like that and put your stamp on them? So if you're making bread or pie or something,
It's like a
this is a
cheesecloth.
gluten-free cloth.
Yeah.
No, I don't think cheesecloth. I think it's, well, it's not canvas either. I'll stop by sometime and show you the cloth. Keeping in mind it's impregnated with flour. But yeah, you can look at it and you could come up with your own, you know, buy it in bulk, cut it off, sew a hem on it, and put your stamp on it.
She knows how to sew.
Yeah.
Because her Grammy's Tala Neathawk, who used to own Tala's Quilt Shop. So her Grammy has taught her how to sew, and then she even has her own sewing machine.
So she's the one who fixed her beard.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Do you want to explain about the beard? You don't have to if you don't
Okay.
want to.
He wrote a story about me, and I look just like my dad, who has a beard.
And you got a cucumber nose. And to get rid of your beard, we had to, Mimi had to pull your hair so high that it went, and then your cucumber nose was showing, and that Grammy had to twist your ears to make your nose normal. Hence, we got an Ava.
And so she looks lovely today. Whew. I meant that in a nice way. How are we doing for time here? We're about halfway through the show at this point. Tell us more about giraffes. What do you like about giraffes?
Well, they're tall, and in my
I'm
opinion,
tall.
that's true. I'm tall. I'm part giraffe. Well, I'm actually half giraffe, half human.
On which side? Your mother's, your father's side?
Not my side, I'm short.
My giraffe side?
So, in other words, you're 1/3 giraffe. You're human on your father's side and on your mother's side, and then you're 1/3 giraffe.
No, actually, I'm part duck from my father. I'm part giraffe from my giraffe side, and then I am slightly annoying because from a
Don't worry, folks.
The love.
We'll turn the camera off when she hits her.
The love.
All right, so more about giraffes. They're tall.
Yes, they have they have brown spots, which I love, kind of like different shades of brown that your
Pheasant.
pheasant has.
His name is Phil.
Oh, that Phil
I'm
has.
Phil. How are you? Mwah. He's very affectionate.
And then they have a yellow that's kind of light. It's kind of like that color.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Phil. It's like,
And no two giraffes have the exact same spots.
yes, just like zebras and cheetahs and leopards
Yep.
and hippopotamuses.
Hippopotamuses have spots.
Yeah, but they have different kind of teeth.
Really? Oh. I wouldn't know.
Some are black, some are yellow, some are very white and clean.
Hippos?
Hmm.
And maybe in the world of Ava.
I'm sure in the world of Ava. Mm-hmm. So, are you going to have a hippopotamus for a pet too?
No,
No.
more like an elephant.
Oh, well,
And a duck.
elephants are good. Elephants have long memories.
As people have been told.
Well, in fact, I remember hearing a story about a man who was out on the veldt, and he saw an elephant that was acting like it was in pain, and the man went up to it, and he looked, it had thorns stuck in its foot, and he pulled the thorn out, and the elephant was very grateful. And years later, the man was at a circus, and he saw an elephant, and that elephant looked very familiar to him. And the elephant saw him, came over to him, grabbed him by the neck, threw him up in the air, stomped him on the ground, and stomped on him. I guess it wasn't the same elephant. Yes, well.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Well, I would like to say something about the peach-faced lovebirds. Something that's very, very adorable about them and super cute is that they look like tiny watermelons. Like their whole face is like red, and then like my hair, if it was short and stuff, and I was a bird, it's like green, and then like it has like the heart kind of, but it's not like pointy at the bottom. It's curved. They're really cute. and then the rest of them are just green, and then sometimes their face is peach, and sometimes it's red like a watermelon, and they're just so cute.
She's done a lot of research.
Yes, it shows.
And filled out a Petco
Oh yeah.
wish list several times. And that's when she
Actu-
realized that her allowance is not going to cut it to
Yeah.
buy everything.
Yeah, it is, because my goal is to make it under $200, and I have succeeded many times. Every time it doesn't lose the memory and stuff. Looks like computers aren't as smart as humans.
Well, you should get a falcon because you can teach it to hunt for you. You know, you get a big leather glove and it'll sit there on your arm.
I'd like
Or
one.
get a hawk. They're pretty neat.
No, they're not. I mean, I'm a very neat hawk, but I prefer to be a very neat giraffe.
Yeah, but you can't get a giraffe to sit on your wrist.
No.
Unless it got miniaturized.
That's true. Do you have plans for doing that?
Yeah, just meet up with the world's most, how do I say this? Shrinky radius scientist.
Oh, so you get a scientist who can shrink a giraffe down to the size where you can take it for a walk.
Seems practical.
Yeah, anything can happen if you just imagine. Huh, Mom?
True.
Now, you're 10 years old?
Yes.
I have some great recipes for 10-year-olds if you're interested.
Very much so.
Oh, good. You just have to know how to talk to them. Look, you're the one that wanted to learn to cook, so shut up and cook. And stop spitting the apple out of your mouth. You think those things grow on trees? It's going right past her.
I don't get it.
It's all right. That's why it goes past you. It's all right.
Well, it doesn't always go past me, I don't think.
Well, I think you'll be getting it about the same time she lays you on the grill. Oh, so this is what she meant. Zip.
Yep. That's all right.
All right, so let's talk about your business while we're here.
Okay. I'm Lindsay Niehawk, and I own and operate Niehawk Designs out of Williamstown. I make carved signs. I am a graphic designer by trade. I went to college, got graphic design, and I'm from around here. After
Whereabouts around here?
I grew up in Lanesboro, and then we currently live in Williamstown. I was a graphic designer for a local company, and I got laid off right after she was born. And that same day, we bought a CNC machine, a 2-foot by 2-foot CNC machine.
And what is a CNC machine?
It's a numerical computer system where basically it's a router, and my computer tells it where the router to go.
Oh, so it's something like a 3D printer.
Yes, but it's the opposite. A 3D printer builds up where the CNC takes out. So I started doing kids' room signs, and within a month or two, I outgrew the 2-foot by 2-foot sign or machine for my first commercial sign. And within 10 months, we upgraded to a 4x8 machine, ShopBot, and I've been making signs out of our garage from 2010 to 2014, where I couldn't handle having it anymore there at home. Then we moved literally a mile down from our house at our current location, and we've expanded 3 times since we've moved in.
Wow.
So I do carved signs. I carve out of PVC, which is a plastic, wood, and then we also have a plasma cutter, a 5x10 machine that cuts all metal. We also weld. we have we weld, and we can and then sandblast and powder coat, woodworking shop. So in one
Try not to pay attention.
we can take a design that I create on the computer.
Oh, yes, this is wonderful. Here, you take that
Yeah.
one on that side. There we go. Yeah.
Stop! You're distracting. Hey, can you please stop? So in one day, we can take a design that we've finalized with a customer, CNC it out, and then paint it, or send it to the plasma. We plasma it out. It can be welded, sandblasted, and powder coated, figuratively, like our ideal, in one day. Doesn't ever happen in one day, depending, because they're so big. Our favorite signs, and we specialize, is wood and metal signs. We fabricate everything in-house, and if we can't do something in-house, we stay local in the Berkshires. We don't go outside, except, well, Bennington, I don't count.
Bennington is close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have done tons of signs in North Adams, Williamstown, Hancock, and then I've also done museum replicas for the Harvard Semitic Museum and Yeshiva University in New York City, where I did an Archititus replica, which is 6.5 feet tall, 12.5 feet long, and 1.5 feet deep. And I did it in
Wow.
49 days, which is huge.
So is that a building?
The Archititus, we did
The arch.
the
I'm sorry.
but we did one of the spoils panels from the Archititus for them, which is the 6x12, and we brought it, and it was brought down to Yeshiva, which is still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a monotonous life I lead. Yeah, so let me see here. If you don't behave yourself, I'm going to give you a hug and a kiss, and then you'll be sorry. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be crying for a month. Oh, Mom, those lips.
All right. So yeah, and then my husband works with me on all of that. He's my welder, and he does a lot of woodworking. He was a contractor for years, and he helps me.
I'm getting hand signals, but I don't know what they mean. Call. Oh, call. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to Porch Talk.
Yes, good evening.
Oh, and it's Ed. Hello, Ed.
How you doing? I got a question for Nehawk Design.
Okay.
How many people work over there in Williamstown at your place?
Me, myself, and I. So that's 3, and my husband, 4.
And me.
Oh, and then we.
Oh yeah, and then your janitor.
It's me and my husband.
And me. And
and my-
Rafi. And
okay.
Carter.
And
And
Ava.
Kevin.
Ava, stop.
Okay, fine.
And then we sometimes bring on, when we need assistance, we have a couple people we call that come and help us sometimes.
Oh, very good. I'm glad you mentioned that you sandblast, because I think I have some things that have to be sandblasted, and I will be stopping over there. You're open 5 days a week?
Yes.
Okay. From what? 9 to 5 or 8 to 4?
9 to 3.
Okay, we will stop over. And Paul?
Yes, sir.
Give Phil a pat on the head for me, will you?
I'd be happy
Have a good
to.
evening.
Wait, Ed, you still there?
I'm still here.
Do you have a guess about the hotel?
Oh, I can't guess.
Oh, come on.
What, Paul? That's the Wilson House.
Wrong. I'm sorry. It
What?
is not the Wilson House.
A good guess, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a good guess.
Okay.
But stay tuned. We will be giving the answer in about 7 minutes.
All right. Thank you, and the three of you have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. You too, Ed.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, Ava, the next time you want to correct your mother, it's my husband and I, not me and my husband.
No, yeah. See, I told you, grammar. It's not my
Yeah.
strong suit.
No, it is not. You can't even spell restaurant.
Oh, whatever.
I'd be a great grandma. Well, hello there, Ava. Here, have some pie.
Nope. I don't think I've hardly even eaten pie.
Oh, not even made with spelt flour?
Actually, there's a Against the Grain, I think the company's called. And they're out of Vermont. They make a gluten-free pizza dough, but they also, I think they do pie crusts, and they're wicked good. I've made tons of quiches with it. No, pies.
Wow.
Well, I'll have to put my friend in Housatonic in touch with you and send you her recipe for spelt flour pie. The filling is not spelt flour. That's just what the crust is made of.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you can put in anything you like. You can put in sulfuric acid and ground glass. You can put in pumpkin, sweet
Blueberries.
potato, blueberries, apple, giraffe steaks.
No. How dare you?
Well,
That one didn't go over her head.
Well, no, not that you would actually make a pie of giraffe steaks.
Don't even think about it.
Oh, I wouldn't. I'm not thinking about it.
But you just did.
Oh.
Well, actually, that was Phil's idea. Yeah, Phil whispered it to me, and that's why I said it.
Sure.
Yes, I'm sure. You said that, didn't you, Phil? Oh, yes, I did. See there? All right. So, yeah, you could make a meat pie, use ground beef or sausage. You could use hippopotamus meat.
No.
What's wrong? You don't want a hippopotamus.
I know, but I write the song I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Oh. You know, hippopotamuses are actually very dangerous. All right, so is there some other animal that you don't like?
Lions, because they tear apart, they can tear apart me, and giraffes, and I don't like them. T-Rexes.
They don't attack giraffes, do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Lions, love giraffes, but as like a food. And
George, my favorite giraffe.
yeah. Carter, what's what's my giraffe's name that you, my giraffe that you named? What is their name?
Harold. Carter has a stuffed giraffe too that he named Harold.
No, it's actually my stuffed giraffe that he stole from me.
Now, when you say a stuffed giraffe, it's not a real giraffe that's been stuffed and mounted.
No, I would.
Oh, no.
I will tackle anyone who kills a giraffe.
Well, I didn't do it.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Did you take a picture of a giraffe and then delete it? Because that made.
No, Ava.
No, I've
That's
never
no.
done that.
No, Ava.
Okay.
But her, we're gonna try and make it so. Oh wait, the end of the month is next week. So in March sometime, we're gonna try and make it so that way we can start. She can start selling boards online, and people can place orders.
Sounds great.
And then we're gonna offer local people can just come to our shop to pick them up. And then yeah.
Yay.
So we have about 7 minutes left, a little over 7 minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
Well,
Do you want to talk
one of
about
my
this part?
One of my secret favorite animals is a flamingo.
Flamingo. You realize that in Alice in Wonderland, they were used to play croquet with. They were used as the mallets. And hedgehogs were used as the balls.
Yep.
That's so sad.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, wasn't that sad?
And then my cutting boards, they come in 3 different sizes. This one is one of them. That's another. And then the biggest, oh, it's heavy. Oh.
So that's the one that costs $5, and this is the one that costs $15. I think that's a wonderful idea.
No, this costs 5, this costs 10, and this costs 15. It's so heavy. Okay, I'm back. And
Thank goodness, I was worried. And of course, they all come with your charming little logo, right? Sorry, right there. There we go.
And this isn't just a selling of cutting board, but it's also a teaching tool for those who don't have celiac disease, and helping them understand the importance of cross-contamination.
Yes, indeed.
I read it off of this in my mind.
Yes, but you know, it's a really good point, because you are educating people and doing it at an age when most people don't think of you educating people.
that's true.
You know, at 10, you're the one that has to learn, and here you are, you're in a position to teach other people, and that's fabulous. Now, before we go any further, Peter, would you please put the picture in front of us one more time? No one called in with a guess about this hotel. You're going to kick yourself, and if you don't, Ava will come and kick you for me.
Wait, can I make a guess?
Sure, yes.
I have no idea, but I'm going to make a wild guess. Is
Is it on Main Street?
Yes.
it a very old Williams Inn?
Nope.
No, this is North
No,
Adams.
this is in North Adams. That, with the fan window on it,
Yep.
that is the original Richmond House.
I don't know what
That,
that is.
and when that section with the porch was added, it became the Richmond Hotel. And then when the original part was torn down and the brick and stone facade was erected, that was
The Holiday Inn.
the Richmond Hotel. No, not yet. We're getting there. The Richmond Hotel that later became the Phoenix Hotel. And when that was torn down about 1970, what's now the Holiday Inn was built in its place. So thank you, Peter. We can put us front and center again. Peter. Peter. Thank you very much, Peter. Okay, so we have about 4 minutes to go here. So as I said, if you didn't guess that and you want to be kicked, give us a call and I will send Ava over to give you a good kick. Believe me, she'll do it. Ooh. So if the two of you have nothing further to add, I'm going to cut the show short here. So thank you very much for joining us. We will be back again next week with another special guest. Hopefully Ed will be here. So thank you, Ava, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, too, for coming here. And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful night.